Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here getting started. Both teams go attempting to take wall, trying to figure out what the game plan is from here. A few walls taken by Laverne, a few have also been taken by Glenpool. Seeing a couple of edits, just trying to play a little bit passive. Looks like we're trying to figure out on the Glenpool side who's going to be pushing first. Laverne trying to look to take space. So Freyo, go ahead and tell us what is going on in the minds right now of either team.
Both teams are probably sitting back, waiting for someone to start the push. Once one team initiates, it gives it gives one team the initiative, but it gives another team a chance to go around and maybe sit someone around the back.
Absolutely, and when you're trying to take space on these type of maps, the goal is really to try to control as many walls as possible, right? Because the more walls you control, the better edits you have. Now it looks like we have a looks like Glenpool has taken a few shots, having to put in some healing resources here, fight over a mid wall. In the meantime, Laverne seems to try to create a little bit of space around the one Glenpool player that they have their eyes set on.
Playing a little passive there, just keeping them stuck, not letting them get much room out.
No, absolutely. And right now, both teams are just kind of trying to grab positioning, trying to figure out what's the best angle we can have on the enemy team. Because right now, both teams have both players fully up. Glenpool is taking a few shots there. It looks like he's already spent one of his healing resources. He's having to pop the other. Laverne looks like they're pretty healthy right now, at least from the perspective that we have on the player. We have one fish and two smalls. So that's really good to have, knowing that you're taking away resources, even though maybe not a lot's happening. If you can take resources, take that space, that's the best thing you can do right now in this situation, especially with this passive play.
I agree. Laverne just seeing how much they can get just on Glenpool's nerves, keeping them there, not letting them go, not letting them push.
Absolutely, and it looks like Glenpool's decided to kind of have this little L shape of a route to kind of be able to bail out if needed. Trying to take a few walls even. Edits doesn't really see anything he likes. Checking to see where his teammate's at. And again, just trying to find that angle, trying to find an alleyway of maybe an edit left open where there's a head poking. A couple of pepper shots going in there to Laverne.
Glenpool back a bit, able to, again, just keep spacing.
And both teams really trying to fill each other out. I mean, this isn't the first time they've played each other either.
I doubt it.
And so this is like they kind of know what to expect from either side, and no one's taking any chances. There's not going to be any full rushes unless it's almost absolute guarantee. Because as soon as one falls, the other one's not far behind.
I agree. Laverne and Glenpool had a little firefight there. Nothing came out of it, though.
Nothing came out of it, but look at the Glenpool Warriors. He's down. He has no shield. He's on bare health, and he has no healing supplies, and his teammate is nowhere to be found.
Running low on mats as well. That's not a good thing.
No, but
Oh,
Laverne
Glenpool
comes in and finds him, takes him down in the first round. Gonna go over to Laverne.
See, you spread them apart. You don't let them get together.
Yeah, no, that strategy seemed to work really well, and we didn't really see a lot of edits going high or low. We just kind of wanted to stay on that level that they all kind of mutually agreed on. It even looked like, take the center walls again, try to see what they get. It looks like Laverne gets a couple of good walls there. Glenpool wasn't successful on that run. So now they're going to have to play in this back corner on the two wall rows that they got.
Let's see. Will Glenpool be able to? Are they going to play? They seem to be playing more aggressive.
They seem to be pushing. Like we can't be caught in that corner again, because if I get caught in that corner, I don't have enough resources to survive.
Glenpool able to get him down low on shield.
Low on shield. Laverne's just trying to kind of jog for position, see if he has an opening for healing. Glenpool decides to go ahead and take some heals. Laverne hears it. Is going to try to spray. Takes his opportunity to heal up as well. And now we're at the top of the map, and now it's just kind of who's going to go down first, who's going to try to edit around. Laverne finds an opening, can't quite get it. He's going to back up, take the mats.
Glenpool is pushing, though.
Yeah, Glenpool has sights set, and they definitely know that they cannot have another one fall again. They're trying to pull the same strategy that just got put on them in the first round, trying to keep it separate, trying to take the space, but separate the Laverne team.
Glenpool breaking walls, but unable to prioritize off of it. Laverne just keeps getting them right back.
Yep, it's definitely just going to be power plays here. Who's taking whose walls, who's taking whose resources away. And again, we're going to see this passive play until kind of there's no option left but to fight. When there's no mats, when there's no heals, the only thing you can do now is fight.
Laverne and Glenpool.
Oh, good pop shot there on Glenpool, going into Laverne, having to spend more healing resources for Laverne. Not the ideal position.
He's got able to spray him down, low on health.
Glenpool's going to continue to rotate. Glenpool really likes to kind of hover on the outside of the map, it looks like, using these pyramids in this L shape, just so that we can have free roam. They have an extra impromptu ramp thinking it. Now we're having to share some resources here on the Glenpool side. Laverne still just trying to hold this position. They like him in this back corner. They know where they're at. They know where they can be, because it looks like Laverne has control of everything else in between.
I agree. And again, just like earlier, Laverne is just pushing onto this Glenpool, not letting him breathe. Not letting them spread out more than they should. Not letting them push.
Yep, and they're just going to continue to try to take walls here. They're going to play slow. And usually how these matches have gone throughout the regular season, it was just kind of very high octane. Both teams kind of pushing, editing around each other, tunneling. Here, we're not seeing that. We're seeing much more strategic play here, knowing essentially when to push or when to hold.
There's so much on the line. They can't really
Oh, absolutely.
play so reckless.
Every mistake will count here, and it's the team that's going to make the fewer mistakes that's going to come out on top today, because both of these teams have kind of mastered the art of these box fights. They know exactly what they want to do. Glenpool taking a few pop shots. Now we're back onto Bear Health. Both sides looks like Bear Health, no heals, running low on mats. Now this is what we were talking about. They have to fight. And
Weren't able to find some minis, but let's see what will help in the long run. Most likely.
it might be just enough to take off a one shot that could be coming through, because those shotguns at this distance, if you hit that right, I mean it's game over.
Especially if you got no shield.
Oh,
See
that
right
was a
there?
big hit for Glenpool. And see that if he didn't have those shields, he would have been down right
He
there.
would have been gone. Luckily, he
Glenpool-
was able to get some.
Glenpool smells blood in the water,
Ooh.
finds it down.
It's one.
There's one. Glenpool looking for the other. They know where he's at. They're hunting for him now. 2v1 situation.
And they're.
And then there it is. Glenpool's going to go ahead and take it that round, making it now 1-1.
Sometimes it does do better to step back, but then sometimes it does go better to push forward, like we just saw there. Glenpool was able to push and squeeze Laverne into the corner like they had him last game.
And again, it's finding those angles through the chaos, especially of the builds. Because if you can find a good edit and you can get just a pixel hit on a headshot, that's just enough to make them back up, reset, waste resources, and give you time and space to slowly crouch them in.
Yeah. Again, let's see. Will Glenpool start aggressive like they have the last few times?
It looks like they are. It looks like more they're just kind of trying to take space here. They want that center. They want that center row. They want that back row like they have been.
Laverne
Oh,
able to
but
get a
there's a
shotgun
nice good
shot
shot by Laverne. Laverne now
Gonna
trying to
go
push
chase.
aggressive. As we kind of watch Glenpool here, is just kind of playing a little slow here. He's getting some heals up. Laverne
Another
sees one,
shotgun
gets a
shot
shot.
Well,
Both teams decided not to play as passive. Maybe they're both trying to push the aggressive
There's
play.
the shotgun shot off from Glenpool. Able to get all the shields gone, but
We're just going to kind of continue on to. Looks like we're starting to now slow down. Maybe the teams are finding the positions they want, but Laverne's just not letting up on this
They're getting
Glenpool player.
squished, as we just saw there. Laverne had a drop, so they didn't get completely squished.
Oh, and interesting. It looks like we had someone drop to bottom to tunnel back up. Very smart move because.
Able to get the down on Glenpool.
Nice, good down on Glenpool. Finds the elimination, gets that critical healing in mats. Now he's going to push the aggressive. Now he's going to start pushing aggressively because now it's a 2v1 situation with Glenpool on the other side of this. Glenpool trying to, on the bottom row, just trying to huddle up, trying to find what he can. Again, he knows where they're both at, but he doesn't know at what height. He sees one in his sights, but he knows he's got to worry about the other one on top.
Sometimes he could be too distracted though, because he's focusing on one, but the other one can come from all other sides from.
Absolutely. He's going to go ahead and take it to the top now. I probably want to have the high ground here because you don't want to have to worry about above you, rather below.
Again, now they get a shotgun off, bring the shields down low. Able to get a slurp fish off the dead body.
Oh, that's huge. Glenpool, again, just trying to play his advantage here with his walls, his mats.
Yeah.
Again, he does
Able
have
to get beamed on the shield though.
He does have just a little bit of healing to top off again. Maybe just outside of that one shot potential, but Glenpool's looking pretty healthy here.
I agree. It may only be one Glenpool guy left, but he does seem to be playing safer now that he knows he's just him left.
Yep. Oh, finds a couple of sprays on someone. Oh, but Glenpool can't quite make a big play. What was needed. Laverne takes that round, now making it a 2-1 situation.
Again, this time they both played a little less aggressive, both set back.
Yeah, definitely. They kind of started off the round trying to gain the middle ground, trying to gain that middle spacing. Decided, you know what, we're not going to get that. Slow started back off, and I think Glenpool just kind of got caught off guard there.
They went for the rush, expecting him to be unprepared, and then just wasn't ready.
Now, something that's huge, especially in box fights, is grabbing those walls early in the middle.
Yes.
Because grabbing those walls early in the middle lets you control that center of the map very early on in the game, which is huge because that's less resources you got to worry about spending on mats, but it also gives you more flexibility. If you want to flip that mid line, you can flip that mid line as wide as you're able to capture.
Yeah, and as we just saw there, Laverne was able to get the push up, making him squeeze into a corner again, but they weren't able to prioritize.
Ooh, good edit shot right there by Glenpool. Knows that he's low. He's going to try to take walls, try to take space. Foes in the box. Gets it down on Laverne. Glenpool now, again, on the hunt, on the aggressive. They know they have the numbers advantage. Go ahead and gets the elimination, gets those valuable resources and healing. Starting to take walls, take space. Everything is going to be in their control now, and that's exactly what they want. Now they're going to team up. As soon as they see him, they're going to probably start headhunting. They find him, starting to spray out walls.
Play a little safer now, knowing he's down one guy.
Oh, and he gets pushed aggressively. Glenpool wanting to end this one a little bit early. Looks like Laverne goes and drops down to the bottom level. He sees him.
He's surrounded.
He's surrounded. He's got to make a play here. And as he's trying to escape, he does get hit. Now 2-2. Now this is neck and neck. And again, like we said earlier, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is what's going to come up on top. And that's going to be tough, especially in these high-octane edit fights.
I agree. They're both playing really safe, but then sometimes they get a little too aggressive, and as we saw there, it doesn't end well.
And it's a gamble. It's a gamble to play aggressive because if it pays off, you immediately have the numbers advantage. But if it doesn't, now you're in a bad position, and you may not be able to get help from your team. So now it looks like we're trying to, again, jockey for that middle position. Laverne
going for the early push this time instead of Glenpool.
Laverne's trying to stay on top, trying to just stay that one round ahead to keep that momentum.
To keep going round to round, it may end up, but Laverne seems to be taking the earlier rounds. Which
big hit right there. Oh, nope, never mind. That was maybe a miscalculation on my part, but had a huge edits continuing to hold that wall. Looks like Glenpool and Laverne, this 1v1 that we see on screen.
Pushing Laverne. Able to get a good shotgun shot off, will he be able to prioritize? No, he gets back up from the other Glenpool player.
He does back up, definitely doesn't want to push that now. However, again, wasted resources, having to use both healing items now only with a fish. Oh, gets shot again, immediately taking down that shield from where it was.
Yeah, looks not very good on Glenpool's side. They're both kind of stuck in the spot. But Laverne just got beamed from the side.
Yep, Laverne now having to start to invest in a little bit of healing resources here. Glenpool trying to get a little bit of breathing room. Laverne owns a lot of the space right here.
But Glenpool is pushing the Laverne player. He's quite low, but he was able to get all the pressure off of this one, and then he was able to get the kills off.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's a 1 HP in a dream right now. Glenpool knows it. He's going to try to push this. The other two are fighting, and right now it's just a 1v1 on both sides, trying to figure out who's going to get that first down. Oh, and from across switches targets. And now it's a 1v1 situation with Laverne, and he has a little bit of healing and a little bit of mats, but he's not going to get any breathing room with this. Glenpool knows it. Oh, no. And just a good small window edit secures it, now making Glenpool ahead of the series 3-2.
Glenpool able to take those games, stopping the momentum of it swapping side to side. Will they continue this momentum, or will Laverne be able to push past this and be able to get those final few wins that might be needed? Yeah, because this is the first time in this match that Glenpool has actually been ahead. Because from now they've been behind or tied. Now they've actually kind of got some breathing room as far as rounds goes. Yeah. And so now that you know that you're one ahead, or you're one behind even as Laverne, what are you hoping to accomplish in these next few rounds? You probably want to get, as we saw from the other rounds, if they were able to get the early pushes, make them use their resources early, continue peppering their shields to make them use all that, then it gets them kind of scared and they back away from you. And if you keep backing them up into a corner, it ends up hurting them more than it's helping. Absolutely. And that's the thing, is that if you have to back up, give up that space, well, in the meantime, someone else is trying to take that space, take those walls. Absolutely good shotgun shot down to just bare. Able to pepper the Glenpool. Yep, no shields. One of the Glenpool warriors is down to nothing but mats and ammo. He's backing up a little bit, trying to find positioning here. Maybe looking for a teammate, maybe drop some heals, but unable to find him. Continue just keeping pressure on, not letting him breathe. Now, the one thing that we did see last round was Glenpool there kind of did a small switch in target prioritization to where it was a 2v1 before the down. That paid off in dividends for him because that was able to allow them to then come back around and secure that. We're not seeing that, though, this round because I think Laverne said, hey, we can't have that happen again. We have to be on top of our game. We have to make sure we're within enough space to where if we're trying to heal, the other person can help protect. I agree. They're playing a lot closer. Last round, they were both kind of spread out opposite corners. Now they're sitting next to each other. So in case something happens to one, you can easily rotate over to the other side and hopefully help them out of that situation. Now, it also seems like both teams kind of see the matchups that they like. We're kind of on screen seeing the same two players that are going after each other have kind of been going after each other the entire round. And so we can imagine it's the same way. Oh, wow! Glenpool comes in and just Laverne comes in and sweeps in on Glenpool kind of unexpectedly. Yeah, we didn't even know the other Glenpool player was out at that point. We didn't. We just saw two Lavernes, and I think they trapped him in a box by accident. I don't think the Glenpool players knew that they were so close to each other. I agree. They just able to catch him off guard again. It was a huge round for Laverne. Now, again, series is tied back up. I mean, Glenpool had that lead for that one round, tied back up. If I'm Laverne, I'm trying to grab another round.
trying to get a 2-round
Oh,
advantage.
early shot off though against the Laverne player low.
Does get him low. Okay, maybe back up a little bit.
Healing, it's so useful, but using it early is not very good for you.
No, because if you're having to use it early, you're having to really depend on not making mistakes later on.
Yes. Then again, both Gwenpool players right on this Laverne player. Maybe they're trying to push together.
Oh,
They were able to get
good
the
at it down. Oh, but he did get down. That's the problem. So now 2v1 situation again.
Gwenpool seemed to be playing together this round, just like Laverne did the other round.
Absolutely. So now here we go.
Tied back up.
Tied right back up. 7 of 13. Oh, I apologize. 4-3. Or was that delayed?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Now going back, again, grabbing those middle walls.
Okay.
Looks like Laverne was able to grab a lot of space there.
I agree. They're just pushing onto each other, not letting each other breathe. Someone's going to make the smallest mistake of maybe backing up a little bit, and that just gives them the time to push through, take those important walls.
Yeah, and the reason those walls are so important is because when you take a box, you don't just take that small square that you're standing on. You take all 4 walls around you, gives you an ability to kind of duck in and out, in all directions as well as below. And so that's the thing.
Laverne, behind the Gwenpool player, just there, able to shoot out his build. Does not seem to get any damage off, though, sadly.
No, but it is enough to kind of respect, for the Glenpool player to respect off of it.
Yes.
Pulling back just a little bit again, playing these angles.
Laverne sees the Gwenpool players trying to get a little pushy there, peppering them off, maybe waiting for backup to come in and squeeze them a bit.
Yeah, but Glenpool here just kind of shooting out some walls, trying to take it for their own. However, Laverne's not giving them up easily. No free walls here. Glenpool doing his best to try to get what he can. Oh, nice series of shots there. However, he did take a little bit of damage himself. He has to get healed up.
Gwenpool, again, they're just playing together this round, which seems to work for them the past few rounds. Playing together, able to get a shot off on the Gwenpool player. It's going to get him low on shields.
Looks like now we're just going to kind of jog for position. Oh, miscalculation. Oh, nice double shot there. Glenpool now a little bit low. Laverne trying to get what they can. They see whites. They see whites in the numbers.
They're just pushing. One Gwenpool player is low. Both have no shields, but one Laverne player still has all of his healing materials.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Glenpool knows what's the heat that's coming. They've backed all the way up again, trying to play this L angle.
And it does not seem to work for them. It's pushing them into a corner where Laverne seems to be prioritizing getting them there and then squeezing them in, trying to take as many walls as possible from them. As we see there, the Laverne player just spraying into the walls. May not do much to get damage off, but it's wasting his mats.
Wasting his mats, wasting his resources. But also, this is allowing Laverne to take a lot of valuable space here. Because when there's no mats left and they don't have healing, again, the only thing you can do is fight. And at that point, if you have nothing to protect yourself, it's going to come down to who has more ammo.
I agree. Laverne able to spray out the Gwenpool player. One Laverne player down, which is not very good at this point. As we saw earlier, once one's down, it's kind of fast.
It is, and it looks like we're going with a double rush. Glenpool trying to find that double rush, trying to pinch the Laverne player. The Laverne player not going down without a fight, though.
Very low.
He is low, 1 HP in a dream. He's got a bot. He's surrounded here. Oh, can't quite get it.
Never get that final shot off. That brings it to 5-3. Glenpool up. But again, there's so many more rounds to come. It depends. Can Laverne see what they did wrong that round and bring it back?
Absolutely, because for a while there, they had the advantage. They had Glenpool right where they wanted him. And I think Glenpool saw a small window of opportunity with some spacing and some mats that were edited just the right way to kind of sneak in and get a good down.
Like as we saw, they were playing close together, and then as soon as they spread apart, they were able to pick them off.
Absolutely. So now as we're going right back into it, Glenpool taking in a few pepper shots, already using some healing resources, shield right back down. Laverne looking healthy right now, finds another shot off. Oh, and 1 HP in a dream. Right now on Glenpool this time. Glenpool having to rotate quickly, trying to find some safe spaces. Only has one healing though. Decides to pop it now.
Laverne knows he's low, so they're like,
this is who we got to get now.
They feel like they need to push, but then they got to remember there's not just one of them. There's more than one.
Absolutely. And again, especially with these gold shotguns, it doesn't take a lot, and it takes a really good aimed shot to get it down fast.
Down one on the Gwenpool player.
Now
they're pushing. They're getting aggressive.
Now they have them right where they want him. They go, okay, now we play the numbers. Now we play the space that we already have.
They know, able to kill him, to get off this mats, get the precious healing.
That's huge. That's going to only extend the fight. Editing
agree.
down, that's where they think he's at. That's where they feel him. Taking walls, taking space.
Just listening, trying to see if they can figure out exactly where he is. Glenpool player probably trying to play this out as best as his possibility.
Oh, there he is, pops around the corner. Does catch Laverne off guard. Oh, but he comes in and takes him down.
See, as we saw, like they stuck together this round. They were able to squeeze them. Glenpool got a little too aggressive, being up 2 games.
Yep, and now they're only up by 1. Again, this is exactly what you expect to see out of these two teams, is that they learn from their mistakes quickly, they adapt, and they realize, okay, we got to switch up strategies because the same strat's not going to work every round.
Yeah.
Now, looks like we're taking the space. Again, Laverne's been taking those middle walls really well this entire series, which has really set them up for a lot of success. And that also puts
Able to
Glenpool
get
on the
another early
back.
shot off on the Glenpool player. Got a good bit of damage off on him. He was able to heal, but that means he's most likely low.
He's getting low. They have him back in that corner right where they want him. They know exactly where they're at. They have the angles that they want. Glenpool already having to use a lot of healing.
Laverne, like as we saw earlier in the earlier rounds, they got him squeezed into these 4 little boxes that they can't really get out of, because they just can't push, because every time they try to take a wall or something, Laverne's just right there to take it right back.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just saw that just now. As soon as that wall broke, Laverne either immediately took it or immediately took it down.
Laverne able
taking
to put some
all
more
the
pressure on.
space.
He's able to get right onto them. Again, probably going to try to take these walls. Glenpool able to get that wall back from Laverne, but unable to do anything with
It looks like Laverne's trying to swing here and is trying to get this 2v1 force this time on Laverne, but Laverne still does have both of their teammates up. One seems to be playing a little bit closer, another one seems a little bit farther back, maybe into an off angle.
Laverne player got this. Glenpool player just stuck in this corner. He finally got covering fire.
Oh,
but
gets him down. Great focus fire and great editing. Now it's just down to 2v1 situation again. They see him. Again, smelling blood in the water. They're going to spray everything down. They're going to make him run, make him hide. But Laverne feels it. They know that the end is in sight for this round. They know exactly where he's at. They know exactly what he has. And now it's just going to wait for him in that corner where they want him. Spraying it down, surrounding him. Oh, but a big shot off by the Glenpool player.
But
getting Laverne down.
They still have all of their heals.
Has all of their healing.
Now, Glenpool understands that they just took one very low and they may not have healing.
Oh, they didn't even get the elimination, so now they're going to be able to try to farm that. Oh, but the Glenpool player right there just trying to stave him off because he knows at this point the res is hopeless. But what you don't want is him to completely fall to give up all those resources.
And there they go.
And there they go. They found him. They got him to back off, and they got those healing resources, able to extend this fight just a little bit longer.
Just pressure, pressure, and pressure. One Laverne player standing on him right now, seeing where he's going. Another one possibly flanking or pushing around the opposite side.
Glenpool doing everything they can just to kind of stay in the fight here. But again, not a lot to go off. Oh, gets pop shot then again back in this corner, trying to live off the edits that's at his disposal, running low on mats even. Oh, wait, no. He's out of
Laverne
mats.
able to find
Oh,
him
and they
against
find
the
him
final
finally.
shot.
Valiant effort, though, by the Glenpool player. Again, that 2v1 situation is always very hard, and it's very hard to clutch up when they're full health, almost full mats, and full ammo.
Agree. Now it's even.
Back to even.
Glenpool once had the lead, but got maybe a little too aggressive with how they were playing.
And if you're Glenpool, that's frustrating. They had that small lead there, but it just got taken right away from you, and you're right back to square one where you've been almost the entire game.
I agree. Glenpool maybe feeling like maybe they need to try something different.
Right, got to mix something up a little bit. This hasn't worked the past few rounds. What can we do different? Well, out of the gate, we see that they're not trying to hug that corner. They're trying to hold a few spots in the middle here.
Able to get an early shot off.
Glenpool and Laverne again, just trying to play kind of that man-on-man, that 1v1 throughout, but again, trying to cross maps there. Oh, but finds the Laverne player off, catches him off guard, downs him, gets the heals. He's going to pop one. He's going to go ahead and pop another. He probably knows that down gets the elimination, so that's just more resources that go in Glenpool's pocket there. Now another 2v1 situation.
Just pushing and fighting. Glenpool just kind of pushing and squeeze like what Laverne did to Glenpool the early rounds, just pushing against them.
Absolutely, and it looks like the Glenpool Warriors had just a great rotation there. They kind of moved around where Laverne was trying to move into. It just kind of caught a wall off guard. And now Laverne again just trying to figure out what he can do here, because full mats and full health. It's going to be difficult to overcome and kind of try to clutch this one up.
Agree. Gwenpool getting that push on, but unable to get those crucial walls in between the two that is needed.
Again, just kind of editing within this one box here. Oh, but gets sprayed through the carnage there. Down low to 18 HP. He's going to have to figure out what he can do now.
One really good shotgun shot could really bring this whole thing around. Is unable to get it though.
No, absolutely, and that is the thing, is that shotgun is such a powerful tool here, because you can immediately get it down and kind of swing a fight, even in a 2v1 situation. So Glenpool does respect that.
Yeah. They're just pushing, both playing aggressive.
Again,
Gwenpool playing a little one-sided. They were basically in the same box most of the time.
yeah, they're kind of in the same box. They're kind of hanging out, and they kind of seems like they're trying to figure out, okay, how much space do we really want to take here? Because what we don't want is take too much space, leave it back open.
By the Laverne player. Got Gwenpool low.
Oh, Glenpool low did get a good kind of retaliation shot there off. He's going to go ahead and heal. However, Laverne sees him healing. He's not gonna let him take that for free.
Gonna back off though, because the other Gwenpool players, they're just earlier just supporting him, letting him get the heals off, not letting him have time to breathe.
Absolutely, because when you're taking heals, you can't shoot, you can't engage in a fight, you can't edit. So you're kind of defenseless for those few seconds that you have to get those healings in. And what you don't want is, at the very least, give up space when it's not needed. And so it's really up to the other player on the team. If someone's healing, you got to be the space taker for them.
I agree. Look, Gwenpool, they're sitting together, letting all their attention go to one Gwenpool player, and the other one just comes around and gets the swing, trying to get those early hits off. Able to.
Oh, good take. Good takedown there, taking off the shield. Laverne, knowing that they're very close here, they know that he's low. All they need is just a whiff of a hit, and they can get it down here. No healing.
He's going to play a whole lot more together with his teammate now, knowing that it's the one with the most health here. He's kind of got to stick to their side.
Glenpool going back to that corner, just trying to play this. Again, play the strat that they feel comfortable with.
Able to get one down though.
Oh,
and to get the finish for the heals.
That's going to give.
Heals will completely turn the tide.
That gives Glenpool just enough of a window of opportunity to kind of swing around that looked pretty grim in the beginning.
I agree. Again, Glenpool just pushing. Laverne tried to get the res off, unsuccessful, sadly. Laverne dropping mads for his teammate. But he got the final shot. Takes Glenpool up 2 again. Will they?
That was it. That's going to be game 1. And again, this is a best 2 out of 3. But now that's going to put Glenpool up 1-0 in the series.
And we saw what works and we saw what doesn't work. So both teams figured out what worked for them and what didn't. So let's see, maybe next time what could change between the two teams.
But we've kind of seen, it looks like we've kind of seen the playbook from both sides, right? We've seen what Glenpool likes to do consistently and kind of how they like to mix things up. We've also seen what Laverne likes to do consistently and how they like to mix things up. So now that everyone's kind of seen what's in everyone else's trick book and playbook, what can we expect now going into this round where now Glenpool, all they got to do is get one more. Laverne's going to have to not only win this one, but then the next one.
Both, who knows what is still like back there, what could be hidden. Both teams, again, saw what worked. Maybe they will swap strategies. Glenpool seemed to like sticking together. Laverne stuck together for a bit and it was working. Then they tried spreading apart and it did not seem to stick with them.
Again, as we kind of wait for the server to get everyone in the match and boot up, we'll get rocking and rolling. Again, getting right back into the action. Laverne taking a lot of space again, taking those walls early. Now that's going to put Glenpool a little bit on the back pedal because they have less space to work with.
Now let's see. Will Laverne play any differently than they have been? Will they stick together, play apart? There's so many different ways for them to play.
And again, really exciting at the very first few seconds of the match because everyone's trying to grab that space, grab those walls, and then sit back, try to figure out where your team and the enemy team is going to be going.
Yeah, Glenpool seems to be playing a little bit split this time. It seems they have swapped who's prioritizing who.
Yeah, maybe Glenpool thinks that might be the key to victory again. Is maybe, hey, by switching it up, let's just put up against a different matchup here. However, Laverne doesn't seem to be taking too much. But surprise shots from around the corner because there was an open wall there
to bring it in. Glenpool going in for the kills, probably to get those nice healing materials. Just leaves one Laverne player left. They're gonna seek him out.
And now Glenpool trying to get up early this time, trying to start the match, trying to start this round off ahead instead of behind, trying to crawl their way back.
I agree. They're spraying him down, not letting him have any breathing room.
So now a few shots in from Glenpool going into the Laverne player, slowly taking their space, slowly breaking walls where needed. Again, it looks like they're not staying so close together as they're just trying to kind of trap the Laverne player, working on trying to get all angles, all walls there, so that way it's more of the long game here because, again, that gold shotgun's powerful, and that could turn a fight, knowing that the Laverne player does have decent shield and health.
I agree. Again, they're just both pushing, trying to see how they can get room, how they can get maybe walls off from him, giving him less escape options.
And then now it looks like the Glenpool Warriors are going to start encroaching in. They know that he's in this corner. However, again, that gold shotgun comes out, deletes the shield off the Glenpool Warrior. Oh, but
unable to prioritize off of the shot. And that puts Glenpool up early. But as we saw, Laverne was up early last game, and it did not work out for them. So
absolutely.
And it all depends.
So talk about kind of the mental here then, because as we just saw, while Glenpool had a small lead there at the beginning, it still was a very close match. And so only going down 1 or 2 rounds, while it can be frustrating, it's not necessarily the end of the road.
Yeah. Everyone just got to remember it's a game of who can strive to stay out the longest, who can stick around, who will sit there and wait for the right time to strike.
Absolutely. And we're seeing a kind of an up-close and personal battle here between Glenpool and Laverne.
Laverne player able to drop down, get out of that fight, but gets trapped.
Gets shotgunned down, and now that's going to leave Glenpool not only with a lot of space, but now numbers. Oh, and just sprays through the wall, and looks like the Glenpool Warriors partner kind of took care of business on that round. So now Glenpool's up 2-0. Again, just like we were talking, a few rounds down, you just kind of have to shake it off and say go next. Because now you come back, you take those 2 rounds, you're right back into it, you're tied up, back to square one.
Glenpool, got to remember, you can't get too cocky here. They, as we saw last round, they brought it to a very close game. They're not someone that they can kind of sit back, maybe be a little more aggressive one round. They got to remember, this is the finals. One simple little mistake could change this whole match.
No, absolutely. And then Laverne takes a couple of unfortunate shots now with no shield, a little bit of health. Glenpool going to top off shields here the best they can. Again, taking all the space. He sees that there's nothing there. He's going to go ahead and put his own mats down.
Again, Laverne there just pushing and pushing. Able to get a shot off on the other Glenpool player while they wasn't paying attention.
Trying to rotate, trying to get prioritized a little bit too much space taking there. And got kind of punished
another
for
shotgun shot off, but is able to get hit. Was able to get a hit.
Nope, both Glenpool players in the same spot. But now Laverne.
Glenpool player low shields.
Both teams kind of still looking equal here, even though both teams have low shields. Again, kind of on the same page on both sides.
They're just pushing for that first kill that really explains how this rest of this match will go.
Absolutely, yeah, and at this stage, especially at this level, one good player, one simple mistake can swing that entire round, and you keep making those small mistakes, you keep capitalizing on those opportunities. That's what's going to consistently win you these rounds, which is what you need, because these best-of-3 series, it's a battle of attrition sometimes, because that first round...
Able to get the down on the Glenpool player. Nice, good headshot. He's going in for the kill. Probably
gets those valuable mats and resources. Now it's the hunt for the last one.
Just like we saw last round, Laverne is now looking for that Glenpool player, breaking all the mats that they is it necessary for them to have? One of the Laverne players able to find the Glenpool player. The other one keeping pressure on. Again, just going through boxes one by one, seeing where might this player be.
Now they kind of they have an idea where he's at. They can kind of get a sense of where he's going to be. Quick wall at it. They see him. Now that they know where he's at, now they're going to start circling. They're going to start pushing. Not wanting to stay in the same box, just kind of staying a little bit separate so that way they can't get both taken down.
As we see, we got him.
Oh, and gets him with a quick edit and drop, kind of by surprise. Glenpool player was not ready for that one.
Again, they took themselves to that corner where Laverne likes them. They just keep him in that corner and they don't let him get much room to breathe.
Absolutely, and it looks like when Laverne can get him in that space where they want him, and Glenpool feels comfortable playing there, I think Laverne feels like they have the upper hand because they have more space to back off of, where if you're Glenpool, you kind of only have a small turnaround to get it, not so much a back and forth of space that you can give up.
The best option you can do is drop down and see if you can get under someone or rotate around.
But at that point, you're giving up high ground, and so that's a gamble that you have to take. But again, it's worked out a few times for Glenpool, but it's one of those things that it's a strategy that Laverne has recognized, and they've been able to, it looks like, to adapt to.
Yeah, and able to build their own way around it. Glenpool playing a little aggressive this time. Laverne able to get a good shot off the Glenpool player. Sees him healing.
And Laverne just trying to keep the aggression up. Oh, sees him waiting from around the corner. However, did get some shots in onto himself. He's going to have to spend some time getting those heals up, getting those resources wasted.
That gets two of them really good shotgun shots off, which gets both those players low. Plus, there's a whole other player for Laverne that's got pretty decent shields, plus probably full heals.
Absolutely.
So now this puts Glenpool in a difficult situation. Are they going to sit back, go through boxes one by one, see what is needed, see what is not, or are they going to push knowing that they have one low and one kill is all they really need to turn the tide?
Oh, absolutely. Now, it looks like Glenpool kind of taking a more passive role in this round. While they do have a lot of mats, they don't have a lot of space to work with. And at this stage in the game, now Laverne's going to start shooting out walls, making them replace those walls they've already took the space on, diminishing those resources that they've had.
One Laverne player backing up, knowing he's not in a good spot where he was, able to get somewhere to where he has more walls he had, like he owns, able to spread out.
Again, this is the long game here. As you rotate, as you try to jockey for position, you're going to try to take as many resources away from the other team as possible, as well as taking space and taking walls, floors, whatever you can, because you never know when you have to quickly rotate or maybe catch someone off guard.
Glenpool's here, we see people doing what Laverne does, just squeezing them into this little spot where they don't really have much escape options. But Laverne seemed to be doing this with Glenpool, but can Glenpool do it back? Will they be able to just put Laverne in the spot to where they just keep being sprayed, but eventually mats are out of the question. You're kind of just running low.
Yeah, Laverne over here having just a few mats left to spare. Glenpool, though, while healthy mats, again, trying to just keep that spacing.
One slow, one down, and that's Glenpool again. Take that game. Puts him up again by 2. But as we saw, Laverne is able to claw back from these. Again, push and push. Glenpool doing what Laverne does. Laverne could possibly do something that they know counters that pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. And again, Laverne being extremely successful on just taking great space in the middle. This time didn't get as many as they have been, but at least got half of a map. So this is going to split. This is going to kind of split the map almost in half for both teams here. So now both teams have equal opportunity to take space.
Laverne, we see this round playing a whole lot more aggressive. They're pushing. They're taking those walls that are crucial, especially for Glenpool, those early walls, even on their own side.
Oh, but finds one rotating, catches him with a shotgun shot here. Does get him low. Is going to have to spend some resources over on the Glenpool side.
Glenpool trying to go around for the double team, unable to get it. That gets both Glenpool players pretty low, probably using all of their heals that they have at the moment.
Absolutely. So now it's going to have to be positioning. It's going to have to be mat. It's going to have to be map management here to try to stay alive, because Glenpool needs to get a knock first. Otherwise, they don't have really many resources to survive off of and take these 2v2s.
I agree. You see Laverne trying to get a little aggressive there because the Glenpool player was pushing, but did not seem to work out.
No, when the Glenpool player dropped low, giving up that high ground, Laverne wants to be here. They want to stay up top because it's easier to shoot down than it is to try to shoot above you.
I agree. One Laverne player got
Oh, finds him by surprise. Knows he was down there. Gets a quick edit back up top. Now it's...
It leaves 2 Laverne players up, one basically full HP, and one Glenpool player with probably no heals left.
And
Yeah.
they're going to just kind of hang out here because they know where the Glenpool players are going to send one
Able
out
to
for a
get
flank, trying to
push.
get that 2v2 duel or that
Gets
1v2
the
duel.
final kill.
Gets it.
Again, nothing good to pull. They may have got a little cocky that round. Now, when they were up 2, they might want to try to push more.
What we also saw is we saw Laverne make a really smart move there. As soon as they got that down, they stood on top of him. They did not allow for the Glenpool player to try to re-rotate to maybe get the few remaining mats that player might have had to extend that fight.
See, Gwenpool's playing so close to each other that once one's down, you already know where the other one is most likely to be close by, so you can already start pushing around and squeezing where they might be.
Yes, and that's kind of the trade-off that you do when you play close like that, right? Is that if someone gets down, the other team already knows where you're at, and it's just a matter of closing in. Whereas if you play separate and one gets down, now it's where's the other one, and it may take some time to rotate, and by that time you may lose them.
Again, able to get multiple good shotgun shots off from Laverne on the Gwenpool players, making them use their very, very useful healing options, as we've seen from these earlier rounds, where those have turned the tide of the game multiple times.
Absolutely, and like we said, sometimes just having just enough health to not get one shot can make the difference if it means keeping you and your teammate alive. Because that 1 HP in a dream literally may be all it needs just for you to secure one down and flip the fight.
I agree. Both Gwenpool players pushing this Laverne player. Again, look, as we saw there, those Gwenpool players squeezing themselves into that corner again.
Now Glenpool again back in this back wall where they tend to like to be. But gets shot from afar. Now down low with no healing options. I think Laverne knows that, and Laverne's kind of has him in their sights trying to cross. Gets the down from across. He's going to immediately go down, get those mats, get those healings. And now, again, 2v1 situation. They kind of already know where he's at. They see and they can hear the footsteps. They see he's down low, gets him immediately. What a clean edit and shot.
Now, it's even.
Back to even again.
From being down 2 to back to even now. Laverne able to show that they are able to adapt to change.
They're able to adapt to change. They're able to kind of throw in a few plays there that Glenpool wasn't expecting. And I think that, again, it's going to be the key to victory. Thinking outside the box, making the minimal mistakes. Because realistically, Glenpool didn't make that many mistakes. But
No.
Laverne pulled a small trick out of their playbook, and it paid off.
I agree. Like, as you said, they didn't make many mistakes, but those tiny little mistakes, maybe like a wrong wall edit, or they didn't get this one crucial wall back, completely changes the whole tide of the game.
Absolutely. And then again, knowing that, hey, I've got low health, I'm back here. Laverne says, hey, I don't think he's got healing. He hasn't popped healing, and he's kind of safe. Maybe we gamble on this and we focus fire for a second. And it paid off. All they needed was that one shot to get that down.
As we see here, the Glenpool player pressuring the Laverne player, unable to get anything off. But he had to use his fish earlier. That leaves him with just his minis left. Which, I mean, 50 shield, as we saw earlier, one little bit of shield can completely change the tide of this game.
No, absolutely. And again, but the other thing that's crucial is that if you do get down and you don't have resources to give your partner before you get eliminated, that's not great, because you are guaranteed healing if you get that elimination from the other side.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is that if you have less resources to even give up, while that can be good if you get down early in the late game, the more resources you can give your team, the better.
Yeah.
Again, popping a mini here from Glenpool, trying to keep that HP up as high as possible. Laverne looking fairly healthy here, maybe not any healing options, but just as healthy as Glenpool. And again, it's going to come down to who's going to make that big play or who's going to make that mistake.
Yeah. Again, they're just, as you Laverne now, they know he has no healing. They're kind of peppering him, seeing if their teammate how they're going to pull, how they're going to push in on Laverne to get all the heat off of him.
Glenpool looks like that they're trying to prioritize a target here, but Laverne has a really good angle and kind of knows that they can't push too far and they can't really take him out of the equation just yet. Again, it's this battle over these one or two walls between the two teams. Glenpool decides to take one more box.
He's gonna play aggressive now. Continue to push.
And gets a nice quick peek over with the shotgun, gets a good down.
Again, now they're pushing. They're gonna try to go get that final kill. They're gonna find the Gwenpool player, get all of his resources that he has, because as we saw again earlier, any resource helps.
Every little bit of resources help, and they see him. They're both there. They know exactly where he's at. They know he's low on mats. He's low on heals.
Now they have him pushed. Laverne now knows most likely where he is, just playing very nice, because they don't want to get one good headshot completely turn how this goes.
Oh, absolutely. And like we talked about last game, is that shotgun needs to be respected. You can't push without thinking that thing can easily take you down with one shot.
He's low on health, both pushing from two sides.
He's got no mats. He's just trying to jump around flare. Oh, and it
Able
was
to
just a
get
matter
that
of time before Glenpool fell. Laverne taking that one away.
Now Laverne has the lead. Unlike the earlier this game where they were down 2, they were not playing as well as they had the last game. Now they're up 1, came back from down 2.
See, here's the thing: is that now you're up 2. This is a crucial round for the mental game because now you get up 3 that hasn't been done yet. That's a lot of confidence for Laverne, and that's going to be a mental hurdle that Glenpool's going to have to figure out how to overcome.
Yeah, as you just said, it's going to be hard for them to get back from that because they have always, most of the time, they've been the ones up 2. Laverne's only been up 2, maybe 1 or 2 times. Laverne's now up 2, possibly can go to up 3. Gwenpool's got to learn that
They got to
even
learn how
though
to
it
play
happened,
down.
it's got to go.
Oh, and
And
finds
they
him
look at the-
quickly. Laverne pushes quick open. Is it being
But
eliminated?
he look at the
Oh,
final kill.
and Glenpool with just the last shot there, just a quick skirmish. Again, something we haven't seen before. Both teams immediately engaging, and it just kind of became a firefight.
I agree. Now it's tied up. Completely different game how it was 5 seconds ago with Laverne ahead. It's got to
Well-
keep fighting. They saw what happened last round. Maybe let's try to prevent what happened last round by maybe they need to play a little less aggressive. Maybe they need to back off a bit. Wait for them to push us. And he's waiting for that wall. Vern's got this Gwenpool player just kind of stuck there. Able to get a good shotgun shot off, though.
Oh, and gets the
Gets a
down.
down.
Crucial.
So-
Very early on in the game. Gets a ton of
Nice
resources and heals from that one.
Those heals are going to completely help. Because now, but the other Laverne player is downed.
Oh, and it's still fairly early, so now it's just going to be a true 1v1. However, the Laverne player is not completely down, so we're not giving up all of the healing resources that could be
Yeah.
available.
Laverne player giving all the possible mats that they have. Trying to get that res off. They notice them below.
Oh, and
Goes-
he's taking the fight.
Going to go push. Unable to get anything out of it.
Again, we have to make the Laverne.
Gets
The
the
Laverne
shots off. Can he?
just scurries away just in the nick of time. He's going to go back up. Tries to find that crucial elimination that he needs to get a restock on some of those healing resources.
But as we saw earlier, the Laverne player already dropped all their resources to their teammate before
Very
they could even
smart.
get the elim off.
At the very least, you only get the healing from the elimination, but there's not much else bonus you want to give him.
I agree. Now, Glenpool just kind of stuck. They know that he can out-heal them. He can do all this that is needed of them. Boom. And he still has a whole other fish to use, plus 6 minis. Like, those little shots they're gonna do something. But you got to keep getting those constantly for it to have any effect on the end of this match.
And this is the battle of attrition. Knowing I don't need to make a big play here. I don't need to go try to pull out my shotgun, try to get that one tap that while it looks good on the stream, it's not necessarily what you need right now. All you need is to pepper them down, waste resources until they are in the position you want them to be in.
As we see there, they're just trying to pop shots off. Laverne trying to just get all of Glenpool to get the resources out.
And Laverne also taking this high ground, knowing that he wants to keep him down there, having to force him to come up to him.
Yeah, we see there, he's got that nice little window spot he can peek. Just keep peppering each other. Laverne trying to, as we see now, just
Takes a crucial floor, makes it small and edit so it's nice and wide.
able to get that shot off. Didn't really do much. Again, misses another shot.
Oh, but a
Laverne
big
having to back
shot
up.
from Glenpool. He knows that was a big shot, so now he's got to play aggressive here. He's trying to get some space. Oh,
and
and
he's able to
gets
get
it.
that nice little headshot. Or is it a shotgun shot?
Yeah, I think it was a shotgun shot.
That spread, that little maybe one little pellet did just enough damage to get that kill.
Especially after taking that huge shot that he got a really good hit on. Deleted all of his shield, almost all of his health. All right, all he's got to do is just get one pellet off that shotgun now.
Yeah. But now it's basically an even game.
Back to square one again and again. This is exactly what you expect to see out of these two teams because they battled it out throughout the semester. They battled it out down in the tournament this season. And these are the best two teams that we've got in the state of Oklahoma for box fights, and it shows. They're not giving them any freebies.
Able to get a good shot off from the Gwenpool player. Gets him low. He understands now that he's going to use his heals. It's going to get him in a vulnerable spot. But will he continue to use all of his heals, or just maybe save off on some? Maybe be able to get some reinforcement from your teammate.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Because again, you got to figure out what you can do here because you don't want to start popping all your resources and wasting them early. Because again, battle of attrition, you never know when you're going to need them or what situation might arise.
I agree. Glenpool able to get a shot off on the Laverne player, but able to get those nice heals off. They're just going to keep pushing and pushing. Both Glenpool players now on one of the Laverne players, but they're just leaving the other guy like alone, and that could cause some problems soon.
Oh, absolutely. And it looks like Glenpool's just kind of trying to close it on this one side. Oh, but a good shot out from Laverne. Again, getting him down low. No healing options for Glenpool here.
That gives the other Laverne player like.
Oh, and
gets
finds a
him
good
down.
shot through destruction. He's down. He's immediately going to go and get that cleanup because he knows that his teammate's not next to him. He sees him below, though. Now it's just a matter of time.
Both Laverne players still alive now. They're able to they're just going to push and push until they can't push no more.
Nice. Just
able to get that
overwhelm him
kill.
with numbers.
That brings the score to 5-5. Two games to win to take the series. If Laverne takes these two games, then we move on to a round 3. If Glenpool takes it, it's over, and that's
Absolutely.
our champions decided.
So now, again, grabbing walls, taking space. Same thing that we've seen this entire series. Glenpool going to go ahead and try to take a little bit more space. Does get dinked for it. Not quite enough to maybe justify healing, but enough to go ahead fully back up, get that position that you like. Laverne taking the space that they want, taking these middle boxes. This is where
But
Laverne
he gets
likes to
pushed
be.
by the teammate, too distracted on the low one that doesn't listen or look for the other teammate out there just lurking.
You're just lurking, but what we notice is that that's where Laverne wants to be. They want to be kind of in the middle there because if that happens, they have enough space to back out, safely heal, and then recontest. Where Glenpool likes to kind of sit back where they know where the damage is going to come from.
I agree. Now, Laverne, they're able to get a few shots off, but gets hit just as much as in return. Laverne, Gwenpool player now just duking it out. One Laverne player downed by the other Gwenpool player. Now they're getting aggressive, giving that push, seeing what it takes. Gets a nice shot off, but will he be able to capitalize?
Low
off
HP.
of it?
Oh, he's going to
Gets the
catch him off
kill.
guard as he's rotating. He's got to quickly try to get the elimination, but he knows the other Glenpool player is hot on his trail.
Oh, it's unable to get the wall.
Couldn't get the wall in time. Glenpool again. Not necessarily a mistake there, but it was just an unfortunate situation. As he turned, he realized, oh, that's a half an arch. That's not the wall I wanted.
I mean, who knows? The other Gwenpool player could be so low. Maybe a pickaxe shot would have taken it, and he got that boost. But then there's that split-second decision: do I go for the kill or do I go for the wall for safety?
No, and see, that's the thing is you don't know that as the players. You don't know that. And you can't necessarily say those are mistakes. Those were the big plays that you wanted, but you got to know how to capitalize on it on the other team regardless. And that's exactly what Glenpool did. They saw that small window of opportunity. He might have noticed that archway. Say, oh, he's gonna try to edit that, and I can catch him off guard here.
I agree. Got the Gwenpool player stuck.
Oh,
Able to get a good shot off.
oh, and he's in the box of the Laverne player. Laverne's gonna try to trap him here. Oh, but he does escape, but not for free. Does have to use a lot of healing invested in that and a lot of mats.
Okay, now Gwenpool doing what they did earlier, just double teaming, focusing their fire. But then that gives the other Laverne player time to just spray into walls, maybe take some great areas that is needed later on.
Absolutely, because again, that's that trade-off with playing with the buddy system. Is that you have a lot of protection. You can trade off on taking space or shooting, but you also have they know where you're at, so they can take all that space around you.
Agree. There, Laverne able to take some very crucial walls, able to push these Gwenpool players back.
Again, Laverne kind of prioritizing spacing here as opposed to trying to shoot out damage, because they know where this Glenpool player is at, but they also know they want to try to keep all of these walls if possible.
The more walls they have, it's a better advantage. They have more rotation options. They have more options to where maybe it's a dead end for the Gwenpool player and they got to break it down. Able to get a shot off on the Gwenpool player though.
A huge shot on the Glenpool player there. Now down to low HP. He's going to have to heal if he even has the healing options available. Doesn't look like he does. Oh, but he does get it off in the nick of time.
And again, they're just pushing, not giving Gwenpool any time to breathe. Got him into that corner that they like.
No, double shot there. Great down.
Down on one. But does the teammate go for something or do they just go for the finish?
I mean, it looks like Laverne's pretty healthy here. I would go for it. I mean, I would at least try to maybe protect. Oh, picking him up, moving him back, knowing where he's at least trying to get him out of arm's reach.
The Glenpool player just trying to keep their teammate alive, not letting them get those very useful.
Oh, but shoots him through it, getting those, at least getting the healing that was needed.
To survive that shotgun shot from the other Glenpool player. Very perfectly timed shots there.
No, absolutely. Oh, and gets it down.
Shot. This game, round 2 is going down to final game.
Round 2, final round. It is round 12 of 13. And this is it. Because, again, if you're Laverne, you've got to win this to keep yourself alive. If you're Glenpool, this is what you need to secure your state championship title.
But Laverne, as we saw from these past 2 rounds, they've been pretty dominant. They've been pushing and pushing and then backing up when needed, but not backing up too far to where they get themselves stuck.
No, absolutely. That's the thing, is Laverne wants that space to be able to rotate, to run, to maybe hit a nice flank or to catch them off guard. Glenpool really trying to stick to their game plan of taking the sides that they want and trying to force the fights that are in their favor. But again, you get an unlucky headshot, an unlucky shotgun shot. That swings it to where it's not in your favor, and now you're in a corner.
I agree. As we saw there, Glenpool player, or the Laverne player, got a small shot on that Glenpool player, but that little bit of health, maybe that mini pot that he might have used to restore the health, can completely change, because maybe late in the game he'll be down, and maybe if he had used that mini pot just a little later, he would have lived.
No, absolutely. And again, jockeying for position here, just trying to take pop shots on each other when available. You don't really want to give up too much. You don't want to waste a lot of mats, a lot of ammo on something that's not guaranteed, but at the same time, you got to get whatever you can take.
Yeah, again, as we see Laverne here, taking those walls, giving Glenpool only really one line of defense.
Yeah, Laverne kind of not necessarily being aggressive on trying to push and get eliminations, but being aggressive and taking space. Yeah. Because they know they can take the space, they can hold it, they can rotate well. Again, he sees someone coming, throws up the ramp, makes the edits in his favor, now has good angles to protect himself, but also re-rotate back where he wants to be.
And now both Glenpool players are here. And then that gives Laverne the chance to maybe have their guy come around, swing, get under them or something. Maybe get that floor hit that might drop them down and get that little shotgun shot that's needed.
And that seems like exactly what's happening. We see a lot of fire going on, somewhere outside of these 2 POVs that we have on screen.
Laverne ain't able to get any shotgun shots off.
Oh, but finds a big one.
But he's not able to get it. But he is very, very low as seen. Now the Laverne dropping their heals to the other player.
Not giving him anything extra.
Both of them both Glenpool players now very low on healing options, having to help one guy get fully back.
Again, they do know where this Laverne player is, but they do know this is a healthy Laverne player they're pushing into with a shotgun.
And probably more heals than they have.
No, absolutely. He can play the long game here.
They're just going to keep fighting. Able to get one kill off. But will they able to get to this other one off that is needed for him to win?
Now, 1v1 situation. And again, what we saw last round is he actually prioritized trying to get that extra elimination for that little extra bit of healing.
That healing can completely sway how this game goes.
Oh, but the other thing is that we have to take into consideration.
That's a big but is he going to go kill his teammate to get that little healing that you get from kills?
Again, Laverne getting low here.
He's able to get those mats. Knows the Glenpool player is most likely above him, just trying to push.
Oh, and then there's the elimination. And finally, the player does bleed out, giving Glenpool a little extra bit of healing.
But Glenpool sitting on top of their teammate, waiting for them to drop what exactly is needed. Now this Laverne player has to kind of sit back, wait and see what happens. Maybe wait for that elim to happen. Glenpool trying to get something that is needed.
Just trying to delay the inevitable fall here, because that's going to be healing for Glenpool. Or that's going to be healing for Laverne now, because this Glenpool player will fall.
And he's trying to touch.
He's just trying to touch,
and there it goes.
Just to display it. And again, he's not going to push. There's no reason for him. He knows he's low. Now, look at this. Pretty much 1-for-1, just a little maybe less healing on Laverne's side, but very, very much within the same situation for both sides.
Laverne's got that mini that Glenpool doesn't, and maybe that one crucial decision. Laverne able to get a good shot off on him. He has no heals. Again, just keeps the push going. Laverne has that mini in case they do get that pop shot off that is needed to get those heals.
Laverne has the healing and has the mats to continue on.
Glenpool player, though, just keeps pushing. They're running low on ammo, though, which is kind of scary.
Oh, big pop shot, oh, but a big trade for Laverne takes it. We are going to a round 3.
That's exactly what is needed there. He waited, waited for him to do one small little mistake, like taking that box. Maybe it wasn't completely necessary, and he was able to get the drop down.
He was able to get that drop down, but I think what was so smart right there on that round from the Laverne player was he knew that that down player was low, and he knew you have one or two choices. You let him bleed out, or you get the res. If you get the res, you know this round's mine. If you let him bleed out, that gives me a fighting chance, and now it's back 1-1.
And especially if he was to go in res, that leaves him at such a vulnerable spot.
No, absolutely it does. And so, like I said, and Laverne knows that Glenpool's not going to have to take that res. There's no way they can get it off in time. And so the inevitable would happen. He was just playing for heals, played smart, didn't get greedy. Now going right into game 3 here for the OKSE Fortnite Spring Championship.
Now both teams have one win under the belt by each other. Last round went to final match, but will each team be able to show that little bit of something different that may be needed to change?
Right, and like I said, in that second game, what we saw was different is there was a round there where both teams got super aggressive, met in the middle, and just kind of had a skirmish. That was the first time we saw that. So that's one less playbook that we can pull from. But at the same time, what else is in store for these two teams?
Yeah, as we see, both of them just waiting, probably talking out strategies right now. Just man, those middle walls are so crucial, as we saw from those last matches. Laverne was able to get those middle walls so early and push in and get those Glenpool walls and just leave them with like 1 or 2 layers of defense, which completely changes it.
No, absolutely. And again, from what we've seen, Laverne likes to play in the middle of the map. They like to have the options to rotate. And Glenpool takes a little bit more on the safe side. Like, I like to have everything that's possible in front of me.
Yeah, both they like playing on their back line. They like having those spaces where they're like, okay, so I'm pretty far from them. I can go get heals off if needed.
Yeah, they definitely like to have like a lane of comfort there where Laverne's a little bit more comfortable being aggressive and may not have the assurance that Glenpool has with their strategy, but Laverne does have really good rotations. They trust their teammates to be able to call them out. And it looks like it's paid off for them because now, like I said, we're looking at 1-1 now in the series. This game is the one that's going to decide it.
Yeah, both teams, again, fighting. Laverne able to get all that pressure needed on that Glenpool player. The Glenpool player knows the Laverne player is there, but doesn't want to push because he knows his teammate is in the middle of another fight.
Again, it's going to be who can make the big play. Does find a little bit of success there, but Laverne's going to go ahead and back off.
Both are now healing.
He sees the heals. Oh, kind of decided to shoot through. Took a little bit of a gamble. Now he's going to do some healing himself. So Glenpool does the same again. Leave no chances here.
Glenpool severely able to get the fish though. Teammate able to show that he's able to help him in those dire situations where it may be needed.
That's exactly what we were talking about. They're comfortable in that. They're comfortable in those middle positions where while a little bit more vulnerable, they trust each other to be able to quickly rotate, give them the resources that are needed to continue on the fight that works in their favor.
They're playing super close, but not yet so close to where they're basically in the same box. They're playing 1 or 2 boxes away to where if needed, they can easily rotate in.
No, for sure. And again, it looks like Glenpool's going to go ahead and try to take a little bit of mid space here. Taking some edits, trying to get some wall control. Again, trying to play these 2 outside lanes here. Laverne just trying to, again, jockey for position. Trying to not prioritize fire yet.
There we go. That arch edit may have done something because now they know exactly where that Glenpool player is. They can keep pushing on him.
And it looks like there's a few shots that was taken. It looks like Glenpool's able to get a few shots in on Laverne, forcing Laverne to use a few of their healing resources. But again, the longer this match goes on, the less resources become available, and it's going to be a force to fight. I mean, there's any other option. And when it comes down to that, and both teams have to fight with the same amount of resources or no resources, it's going to come down to who has the better rotation or who has the better surprise on the other team.
I agree. Who knows this map? Who knows what to do better? Who knows who controls what? That's how these matches have been going. See, all these players here very low on their mats, trying their best to see what they have at this current moment and utilize it to the best of their ability.
Now, again, low mats, just trying to hold it, trying to kind of feel each other out here because we know that we're getting late in this round and there's not a lot of resources for any team.
One Laverne player down, that's not very good.
No, that's definitely not good for the Laverne team. Glenpool may see their window of opportunity. There is an elimination. It's going to be some healing for the Glenpool Warriors.
Wide. Can he get that final little shot that's needed to get the kill? not seem to be. They're
Laverne knows where they're at, but knows that he cannot make a mistake here. Again, that one pellet could be the end of it for this round.
agree. And round one already so intense, showing that both of these know that it's it's lose or win right now.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is it. It's go big or go home.
Yeah.
And Glenpool again respecting Laverne, not being real aggressive because they know that shotgun is all it takes to flip a fight. But at the same time, knows the positioning, knows the space they want, and they're just going to kind of wait it out here.
They know he's somewhere over here. They don't know maybe his exact location, but they know he's here somewhere, and they need to look for him.
No, absolutely. And this is actually smart on the Laverne player. Not making a lot of noise, not making a lot of rustle, so that way he can get a surprise shot and gets the down. Tries to take him, tries to get that crucial lead.
But
No,
is unable to get the final kill.
is able to get the final kill. But again, brilliant play there. Even by Laverne being down, was so close to flipping that fight by getting that elimination because Glenpool was hunting, but he wasn't making noise, so they had no certainty of where he was at.
So they just kept looking and looking, wasting maybe precious bullet resources that may have been needed later on. He knew that if he just waited, he would find that right little moment to strike, like there. But he was unable to get that final shot off that needed for the kills to get that boost of healing.
No, right, absolutely. And again, this is exactly what you expect. That was just another small trick that was pulled out of the playbook right there. Like, hey, maybe this is the one that we waited out. We let them hunt for us because we know we can hear him, we can see him, and we'll get the surprise on here.
Now Glenpool swapping who's on who, kind of playing around, letting each other just swap between targets.
Right, maybe mixing up the play styles a little bit, trying to see if they can throw the other team off guard.
It makes you think, okay, so if he does not want to keep fighting me, maybe we need to find a way for him to always fight me and me to always stay on him.
No, absolutely, yeah. I was like, hey, they're swapping, they're trying to change the matchup. Maybe we force the matchups to happen anyway. And again, Glenpool trying to push a little bit aggressive here, something that we haven't
It's a
quite
good shot on
seen.
the Glenpool player. The Laverne one does. Again, it's just pushing and pushing, waiting for that little hit. He was able to get good hit off, which is probably going to pop shield and maybe even some health.
Yep, looks like he's dropping health. Looks like he's already dropped all. He's already used all the health he had available, and so now, just both minis go to the low Glenpool player. Laverne looking fairly healthy here, some healing on their side, and fairly decent ammo and mats.
Okay, now it's time to see. Are they the one? Are they going to sit back? Are they going to push? Are they going to make Glenpool maybe look for them?
No, I believe they're going to try to keep him back in this corner right where they want him because they know they have the resources, they have the health. And all they got to do is get that knock, and then from there they can collapse in.
I agree. They see that someone got some healing off. Now they're kind of pushing, waiting to see. They know one of them possibly still low.
Exchanging gunfire, but nothing comes of it from either side. Again, backing up, retaking position, retaking stock.
They will get the first, get the elim. Now will he go and get the finish?
He does. He gets the finish. He knows that that's quick enough. That's nice and open. We can grab that. Now it's time to headhunt.
Gives him that healing that's needed.
Oh, and he's just taking down all of these lanes to take control here.
Not giving him anywhere to hide. They know he's here somewhere. They're just gonna look and hunt for him.
Tunneling over, out and around, trying to get a good position here.
They hear him. He's probably up above by now. Just again, they gotta keep that pressure on, not letting him get any room to breathe.
Oh.
He's wide.
Down-
Will they be
down
able to
to
get
flush.
any finish? Now they're splitting heals, be able to
have them trying to get as much value out of the healing resources as possible, making sure that neither one of them can get one shot if at all possible.
having one player low, it completely, as we saw earlier, could change the tide of the game. If that Laverne would just got that little final kill that was needed in the game, and they were able to
gets
finish
him.
him.
That's going to make it 1-1.
Now, as we saw there, again, they're both playing completely different each time. Each time they hop into this, they're all playing slightly different than they have been.
No, absolutely. And again, we're going to watch, see that Glenpool's going to try to take a few walls here. Laverne looks like took a little majority of them. So it's going to be just a little bit more space for Laverne to work with.
So now, Glenpool just trying that what they did last time, splitting them up, maybe swapping targets. Able to get that nice shot off though on the Laverne player.
Laverne's trying to find some space to breathe here.
All getting really good shots off on each other. Glenpool player, though, running away from the Laverne player. All probably trying to get as much healing as they can back in before this next round of fights go through. Glenpool probably knows that one Laverne player is kind of separated from his teammates. He's going to see if they can get any pushes. Retreating back to go deal with the other Laverne player. They're just fighting for this control.
Now, looks like Glenpool's again back into that kind of like L shape and towards the back of the map is what they like. Does get shields taken off. He's going to put just a small mini into it that will expense the rest of his resources there. Laverne, on the other hand, very comfortable in this position. Very comfortable kind of in the middle of the map, kind of taking multiple angles here if needed. And I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to catch Glenpool to rotate and catch him off guard a little bit.
Yeah, as we saw there, they're peppering two sides of the wall, making them kind of split their focus. Maybe one tiny little slip up somewhere with their focus in two different places will change some sort of aspect in this.
Now, Laverne getting a little bit of firepower coming their way, hasn't really worked to get both those walls back. No shields and no HP, or no shields, no minis. Again, just trying to wave out. Oh, but hits a good shot there.
But now both Glenpool players on this one Laverne player, again, just leaving that other guy completely open. That's not a good thing to have most of the time, because now he's open. He can rotate around, maybe get behind y'all where y'all can't hear him.
Laverne slowly creeping their way, just trying to find a window of opportunity. He has that shotgun out waiting for someone to jump and rotate. Does see one. Goes ahead and puts a wall up.
Now just firing into these walls, trying to maybe waste resources if needed.
Again, bit of a long match. You know, it's definitely playing a lot slower than probably what both of them are used to.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's paying off for both teams.
Again, but then there's that wear and tear. How long are you willing to go along with this? How long are you willing to wait?
Oh, right. Like how strong is your grit, right? Like how long can you play like this and be patient and not make mistakes, not get caught off guard?
There's only one Laverne player left, which puts him at a bit of a disadvantage. But I don't think the Glenpool players have any heals left. Which, as we saw, if they can get that one crucial hit, it can completely change the tide of how this match is going.
Absolutely.
They're just pushing and fighting and maybe trying to get their attention. Oh, making small little movements, saying, "I'm this way, come try to push." But they learned from the last mistakes, and now they're pushing together.
Absolutely, they're trying to push together. They're not wanting really to get caught off guard and by themselves here.
As we can see, they may have spotted him. Is he going to sit and wait for them to push, or is he going to take some sort of initiative?
Well, Glenpool fairly healthy. Again, still within one shot range, especially with that gold shotgun.
Yes, he puts so much pressure on them. Like, if we do push, then there's a chance we could get one shot. But if we don't push, there's a chance that he can just kind of wait us down and wait for that patience. And there they go, finally get that little shot that's needed.
Glenpool will take that round. Making them up now 2-1.
Now, as we saw earlier, both were able to keep leads but lost them early on. Will they be able to keep these leads longer? Will they be able to fight to keep these?
Because again, this is the best of 13, especially in these each individual rounds. So a lot can happen in these next few rounds.
It's very important. You want to get those early wins, because those early wins, you're still ready. You're still hyped. Those later rounds, you're like, okay, how much longer will this go on for? How many more times do we have to go through this?
Oh, absolutely. And now Glenpool does see Laverne kind of in a position that they might want to take advantage of, trying to take some space, take some of these mats.
Yeah, they're trying to play this mental game where they're just going to make them sit and wait and kind of maybe spray them here and there, and then wait and wait. Glenpool, though, is just getting right into their face, trying their hardest to push, playing completely different than how they were some other games.
Now Glenpool to kind of, again, trying to spray what he can, taking his walls, getting his edits in. Laverne, but also still hanging out in the middle there, just still still just really comfortable taking all of that space, all those mats, kind of uncontested. Shots coming in from across the map there does tear off the shield of the Laverne player.
There's still another one though, which most likely at this point still has full heals. Just waiting for these little perfect moments to take these little shots out that may completely change the tide. Laverne just sitting back. As I said earlier, they're just kind of punching to each other, just doing light little blows. Not really, no one's taking much of an initiative to push.
Oh, right. Again, a team's got to make a decision. They've got to make a play here because you've got to figure out what's going to be the best course of action before the other team figures it out for you.
Laverne took that wall, was able to get it, but is on 1 HP now. Can he do anything with it? Will he try to get this mini off without getting completely sprayed? He's able to get that mini off. For all we know, that can completely change how this game goes. That maybe one little gets that headshot with a rifle. Now he's back down the corner. He knows they got that finish.
That's going to be just extra resources and extra healing. Now, it's going to be up to Glenpool to try to close this one out. Oh,
Laverne able to get 1 kill down. Able to keep pushing though. Who got that final kill? Laverne was able to bring it back even though they lost the first person. The other guy was able to take advantage of the damage dealt.
Oh, absolutely. And again, playing slow, playing smart, and understanding the resources at your disposal and what the resources your teammates might have already used.
Now, like that point, he's probably communicating. Okay, he's probably low. Here's their health and stuff. The communication is really good between these teams, as you can tell. They're both able to move around with each other. They're kind of playing all together.
No, absolutely. And like mechanically speaking, both of these teams are right on par with each other. So it is really gonna come down to who's gonna make the least amount of mistakes or who's gonna make the bigger plays.
Who here is gonna capitalize maybe on the tiniest little mistakes possible? Like maybe you took one too many walls. Maybe you didn't pay attention to who owned a wall. Those tiny little mistakes can completely change how this plays out.
Oh, absolutely. Glenpool taking the back seat again, wanting to stay on those long sight lines with plenty of cover between them and a possible Laverne player. Laverne, though, holding mid, trying to get aggressive.
Pushed it back up, though. Glenpool able to just spray into them, trying to get as much damage as possible. Now, Laverne, the one sitting on the back row. Unlike they have been to Glenpool the last few days. Just pushing them, making them get into that corner, as we saw from the first few games. That corner is pretty good on Laverne's favor.
For sure. Laverne popping some minis here, trying to get the heals up. Again, playing the slow game. Both teams trying to just feel each other out, seeing what's going to work best for them.
They're both just sitting, waiting, seeing how long it would take for one little slip up. Maybe you didn't pay attention to something so small, like maybe the HP of a wall was lower than you thought.
And both teams looking respectively healthy. You know, not a lot of difference between the two teams in this round, especially this late. Not really any healing, but decent amount of mats.
We see the Glenpool players just trying to take, as we saw there, just little shots, trying to get as much damage as possible without taking any for themselves. Now they're just fighting, they're pushing, trying to see maybe one little slip up. Glenpool now pushing onto one of the Laverne. One's getting heals off.
Oh, and the Glenpool Warriors are close together here. Putting kind of quite a bit of stress on the Laverne player.
One Glenpool player down now. The other one's pretty
That's
low.
Huge.
Again,
And now he's just going to try to hold this wall. He's been edited down. There's 2 alive now for Glenpool.
Glenpool player's out now. That just leaves the 2 Laverne players, both pretty much full health, versus this about half health left Liverpool player. And now they're just fighting to survive, getting these final we saw earlier, it is possible to bring it back. You just got to get those lucky shots that are needed.
No, absolutely. And now it looks like Glenpool's going to try to back up just a little bit
Yep.
here. Laverne.
They've been boxed in. They
finds it.
can't do much. Let's Laverne take that round. Brings it back to Laverne's now up 1.
That is correct. And again, like we were saying, it's going to be go big or go home. So every single opportunity you get, you're going to have to take it. Sometimes that might even be a gamble, but you take that window of opportunity, you're going to win a couple of rounds. And at this point, you can't afford to lose very many either, because the more you give Glenpool, the closer Laverne is to victory. And same goes for Laverne. Can't give up anything because that makes Glenpool closer.
And you just got to
Oh, a quick sweep in by a Glenpool player.
took that early push, which haven't been going on much this game. Wasn't expecting it. That early push was able to keep him away.
Oh, and now he's
Unaware.
rotating him just so he can get a safe elimination, get all those resources, all of that healing back.
That puts the other Laverne player at such a disadvantage.
It does. Again, Glenpool mixing it up. They're like, you know what? Let's full send it. Full send it. Find a Laverne player and get him down quick. And it worked because we hadn't seen it almost all game. We didn't see it the first game. We saw it once last game, and now this is the first time we've seen it. Again, being able to know when to mix things up a little bit. What we like to call the goofy plays.
Yeah. See? They're just able to punch right through them.
Yep.
Laverne expecting for them to sit back, maybe play how they have been. And then they just come running straight through all of your stuff. You don't know what to do because you haven't played against it that much today.
No, absolutely. And again, now we're right back to tied. 3-3.
Anything can happen. Are they going to push again? Are they going to place
See,
back?
now Glenpool's a little. I think Glenpool kind of woke Laverne up a little bit there. Like, okay, hey,
Yeah.
now we kind of be on our toes here. We can't just kind of take what we've been taking and just sit, because they're gonna mix things up.
See? Well, again, they're playing aggressive, taking those first few pop shots that are needed to get those early damage off, not giving them time to, like Laverne was doing the first game, not giving them time to breathe, keeping the pressure on.
Oh, but then there's the thing, a little aggressive there, put the wall down a little early, did get some shots in, getting that spray that's needed, trying to control the map here. Laverne is right where they want to be, controlling walls, controlling space. Glenpool has kind of adapted their playstyle, though. Instead of just having a small lane and maybe 2 boxes, 2 on the outside, they're kind of trying to control all of the outside.
I mean, it seems to have worked. They're just able to run around, maybe get those flanks that are needed, maybe even get those drop downs that are and pop back up somewhere where they wouldn't expect.
No, and absolutely. Laverne does get a good shot off there on a Glenpool warrior. However, Laverne having to heal up on the other side of this. No shield, just a little bit of health.
Now they're just pushing and fighting, trying to see exactly who's where, who needs to do what. Laverne gets a good shot off on the Glenpool player, gets him low most likely. Has to go get heals off.
Again, sharing resources, trying to help your teammate survive as long as possible, especially when they're in a bad situation.
Yeah. Laverne knows where one Glenpool player is, but do they know where the rest are? They see him, able to spray through the wall, get a nice little chip damage off. But they got to remember, there's more than one enemy in this game.
Oh, and a good clean shot taken out of Glenpool warrior, immediately gets the follow-up to get that valuable healing resources.
Now they're just pushing, able to find the other Glenpool warrior, throwing shields back to go help the other teammate.
Oh, and now he sees him. He saw him down below. He knows he's below him. Now he's going to try to, again, take these walls, take these floors even, take these cones, control everything up here, so that way when they decide to push or when they decide to get pushed on, they have control of the situation around them.
They've found him. They know they're below. Nothing seems to have come from it. He's playing quite low, which, as we saw earlier, works sometimes, but it also doesn't others.
Oh,
He's able to
good
get a
shot
nice
there.
shotgun shot off.
Good.
He dropped down, but Laverne able to get the box in on him, but he's able to capitalize.
Oh, and does capitalize on it. Laverne now pulling away just barely.
4-3 now, Laverne's favor. Again, it's 1-7. It shows so much prowess. They're both so close, yet so far from the end.
No, absolutely. And see, this is where box fights gets really, really interesting, is because it's so close, so back and forth. You've got to find ways to mix things up, even mid-match. I mean, you saw right there, Glenpool kind of tried to hold that outside ring, and quickly Laverne said, "Well, we got to mix it up. We can't hold the middle now. We got to go meet him out there." And it played in their favor. Good pop shot out there from Laverne.
Now they're playing the aggression. Now they're showing Glenpool that they're not ones to be messed with. They can fight back if they need it.
I think both teams are going, you know what, that ring is ours. Let's go get it. And now I think both teams are starting to feel the aggression, feel the pressure now this late in the game. Oh, finds one, does get a good trade off box. There's a box fight. Oh, and it's
But
another
look
just
at
quick
it behind.
skirmish. Laverne
they
does get one down, gets the elimination is found by Glenpool, getting those quick healing resources, and now they're just back out and resetting.
Just leaves one Laverne player left with both Gwenpool players. Now they just have to.
Now they just have to find him.
Again, are they going to play like they did the one round? They're just going to play silent, maybe wait for them to show up. Or are they going to take the aggression?
And it looks like that he went ahead. Like it looks like he was spotted by the Glenpool Warriors.
Now look, they're trying to squeeze by, trying to get all the damage that they can on them. Just keep spraying into it.
They're just going to keep spraying into it, and the Laverne player is just trying to play whatever he can, trying to find any window of opportunity to try to get one of the two Glenpool players down. Glenpool, though, again, taking these mats, reclaiming walls, reclaiming floors and cones, getting everything in their favor to set up for maybe just a cheeky push, maybe a trick play, but at the same time, the Laverne players is making some movement, is kind of giving away his position, but what is he setting up for? The Glenpool Warriors are at least respecting it enough not to just full send it here. Oh, but just found him and sprayed through it and was able to kind of capitalize on those weak builds.
Takes it 4-4. Now both teams 3 wins. This game could go on for 4 more rounds even. It all depends.
That is a possibility. But again, these teams have been so back and forth. They've taken the lead, lost the lead through all 3 of these rounds now. So now again, kind of going back to the basics here for both teams. Laverne opting to hold kind of the middle space of the map. Glenpool's going to kind of hold the outside space.
Glenpool saw the Laverne player healing up. Did not team were leading up to push. Just let him sit back and get those heals. But again, that using those heals so much early in this game has completely changed how the end of this could go.
No, absolutely. And now, I mean, again, they know where each other's at. They're going to try to get positioning, try to get angles here, try to get some chip damage even. Glenpool taking a little bit of chip damage. Laverne also has a little bit of chip damage, but not enough to fully justify maybe heals at this point. But Glenpool, on the other hand, is going to go ahead and take the heals, start sharing resources. This is exactly what Laverne is looking for.
They got them both in one box. That's not a good thing. You want to kind of be not super spread out, but spread out just that little bit to where you can show that you're not just stuck together.
Oh, right, and that's the other thing is that if you get stuck together, well, guess what? You can start getting things taken away from you from space. You can start getting sprayed through. And that is not what you want right now, especially right now being all tied up.
I agree. We see there Gwenpool trying to get that little pop-up hit that's needed. Unable to get anything out of it, though. Gwenpool trying to go in for the push. Again, nothing. Not able to get anything out of it. Laverne able to get a little hit on the Gwenpool player. Gets him quite low. But now is he going to push? He's going to sit back. How are they going to play this?
Glenpool deciding to try to sit back a little bit, but kind of got punished for it there. Even lower now with have no healing.
Gwenpool now understands that it's life or death right now. This one Gwenpool player is just stuck waiting for his teammate to maybe take a little bit of a distraction for him or try something new. Here we go. Teammate able to bring in some heals for him. Those tiny little heals could do a lot.
Now, with knowing that he's probably just in a bad spot, slowly, Verne's going to go and try to encroach here on some Glenpool territory, just pushing him down even further, giving him even less opportunities. However, Glenpool did find his teammate. Now they're finally able to rotate, get a little bit of a small reset here, trying to find anything that they can to catch the Laverne players off guard.
Able to get those pushes needed for them to, again, just fight, trying to keep whatever they can to keep this advantage they slightly have over these, because they know they don't have many heals left on them.
Laverne just trying to hold angles here, knowing that they're close by. Oh, and they're rotating quick. Glenpool trying to find a window of opportunity.
Able to get a good shot off on one Glenpool player. Laverne one is, they're just going to spray down and they're going to try to wait. One's down. It's not very good.
Nope, and he's already dropping resources for him, giving him everything he's got. Oh, finds and breaks the shield there.
One no shield. Tries to get the drop down shot, unable to get anything because of the stairs. The other one is able to spray into him. Again, the drop down gets him.
Now Glenpool pulling ahead by 1, 5-4.
Again, they just continue going. All this game has just been a back and forth, back and forth. One person will take a 2-point lead, then they'll fall back, and then another person will take a 2-point lead, and they'll fall back. And they just keep fighting. Everyone is just kind of sitting back. Maybe try something new. Maybe try something that have worked recently. Like Glenpool there, one of them just rushed, one of them sat back, playing two different styles. Maybe proves to be better.
So now Laverne down on the bottom now. Not maybe the ideal position that they were hoping for, trying to know that they like to hold middle there. But they're going to take this. They're going to try to take this 1v1. Gets into the box. Gets the elimination. Is going to go ahead and get him down. Cleans up all the mats that he can grab. Gets that additional healing. Early down for Laverne. Now they need to capitalize on that. They need to find that other Glenpool player. And essentially, they need to overwhelm him here. They have the heals. They have the mats. They have everything they needed to secure this and just tie it right back up.
Okay, now both teams just kind of. Laverne used one of them used all their healing, but was able to get that kill to get all those healing materials back. Now down to just one Glenpool player left.
And now they see him. They found him. They've got him in their sights. They're going to start rotating. They're going to start being aggressive. They're going to start taking walls here.
Just remember, you got that pinch, this pinch technique that was working earlier when the one was left. You just got to keep making them think that, oh, there's one there. Oh, now I'm cornered over this side and that side. Don't let them breathe.
Took a huge shot. Now the Glenpool Warrior has to go ahead and invest all that healing that they had early on. So now that's all the healing they're probably going to get now unless they can find a good elimination quickly. But it's going to be hard, especially with two very healthy Laverne players.
I agree. Now, this could, as we said earlier, you got to respect the shotgun. You know it does a lot.
Oh, we've seen it a few times here. We've seen it down people unexpectedly, almost turning fights, and in some cases did turn fights for the better.
Now they're just kind of sitting back, waiting, seeing what needs to be done before anything can happen between these two teams.
And now he sees him, chooses to drop on top of him. He gets try to trap in a box here. He's going to have to chase.
Gets a kill.
Oh, but Warrior found it down and swings it back and takes it. Again, the shotgun. The shotgun needs to be respected. He got an early down, swung back around, had a flick shot. So won what looked like a very unwinnable round for Glenpool there.
He's able to completely turn it around. Laverne maybe got a little too aggressive. Now, he's probably going to go get the finish, but isn't able to do anything about it. Now, Laverne's going to win these next two rounds, or that's it. If Glenpool wins one of these, then
Glenpool only needs one now.
Will Laverne try something new? Will they play aggressive like Glenpool was doing when they were down? Or will they continue to take these middle grounds and just sit?
Is there one more trick in the playbook that can make them survive for another round? It's neck and neck. It looks like Glenpool's staying close. Oh, and Glenpool finds an early down here, putting Laverne in a bad situation. Laverne's already trying to fight because they've already taken a couple of chip damage. And again, Glenpool's going to go ahead and clean that up, grab all of that resources that, honestly, they pretty much they were fully kitted. This is going to have to force Laverne to get aggressive, get what they can here. Now Laverne just trying to take walls here, trying to take space, trying to set up every opportunity of success that they can get in their favor. Glenpool, on the other hand, is going to try to get for full resets, trying to get some heals. Laverne player does find the Glenpool duo. Editing around, trying to get an ideal situation. Oh, there's some shots coming from around. Jumps into his box. He does have the edits, but he doesn't have a lot of space here. He does find one trying to heal, does interrupt it. Oh, tries to get it down, and there it is.
Glenpool takes it.
There is the game. Glenpool will take it in a very close game all the way through.
Okay, yep, there it is. All right, so that was the Fortnite State Championship game, and so we are going to do our awards here. Number 3, if I could get you to come up, please, Riverside Indian School. Okay, now Oklahoma Scholastic Esports state runner-up, the Laverne Tigers. Okay, and your OKSE state champions for the spring of 2023 in Fortnite is the Glenpool Warriors. Congratulations.